All right, so we got all our charge pipe done from the turbo down.
Oh, show them what you had to weld, dude.
Yeah, so we had to add a little extension here. I mean, we could have bought a bigger piece, but just to make it work with what we have, that's what we did. Also, underneath here, we did a little extension and routed it through here. You can't really see that.
Yeah, so we just had to
cut a hole through there. Got it all mounted here.
Oh.
And so we're coming through here, got this hole sawed, and we're gonna be buying a mass airflow housing. And then we got this part on the throttle body welded. We welded it because the manifold that we used kind of puts the turbo kind of high. Like we said earlier, it just might melt a coupler. So instead of messing with melted couplers, we just welded it, and it should never be a problem after that. So what's left to do is finish that charge pipe, then take manifold back together, build a drain tube, vacuum lines and downpipe, and then weld in all the injector bungs. I mean, all the O2 bungs. And put the bumper back on, I guess. It should fit. Maybe do a little trimming.
So we put the rest of the intercooler piping together, which we need to pull off because the blow-off valve isn't on. Just on one of the elbows, I think. So these are the stock injectors that we pulled out, and these are they're 80, I want to say 87 to 92 Probably. Supra, stock Supra,
yeah,
not a twin turbo Supra, just a regular NA.
7M, whatever.
And these are 316cc injectors, whereas these were, what did we say, 220?
I think so.
220 or 250. Small. They were pretty small. And these will bump it up just a little bit. And the way we're going to regulate the fuel pressure on there is with that regulator that we have somewhere laying around. We'll pull that out and show you guys here in a little bit.
Got all the 7M injectors in.
Now we're just going to bolt them in.
And got the fuel rail
that's right.
Tapped, drilled and tapped right here. 1/8 inch pipe.
And we just need a 90-degree fitting on there,
yep,
right?
To 5/16, and then we'll run that to our regulator for a return.
I think we're going to call it a night after we bolt down the fuel rail, though. So the only thing we did, which I think we showed, was we added a little rubber gasket that came on the stock injectors. So it came right here on this piece. We just popped it off, cleaned them up, and we put it. It's late. We placed them on the other injectors. And aside from that, there's no cap or anything on the other ones, just the actual O-ring that comes on those injectors that we're going to use. So we think that should be enough to create a good seal. I guess we'll find out when we do our first start. Yep. Hey guys, real quick on the 7M injectors, we did install them. Unfortunately, it was running way too rich. It was throwing check engine lights. It was just running right around 10 air to fuel. So we ended up going back to stock injectors. All we did was decap the stock injectors and put those back in. And we've got the check engine light to go away, and it runs perfect. It'll run 14.7. If we put it under load, it'll go down to 12, 11, somewhere around there under a load, and then it goes back up to 14.7. So skip the 7M injectors. All right. Hey guys, we're back. We got some of the stuff we needed. We'll do a quick unboxing of, we're only missing the mass airflow pipe and the 4-inch pipe from here for the intake.
For the filter.
Yeah, so I do have a filter for it, but
okay.
And I got the coupler. We're just missing the pipe and the mass airflow pipe. Aside from that, we got everything else. I did get the wideband in. The other couplers, we'll just open everything up real quick. So we'll try to link up everything from, because I got a lot of stuff from Amazon. I think I got some stuff from eBay. So we'll try to link up everything that we use. These are the
Oh, the bungs.
Yeah, and they come with caps on them too, which is kind of nice if for whatever reason we don't need them. So this came from Amazon too. We'll put all the links and pictures to everything that we bought in the description. And this is just a 4-inch coupler, and that goes here. And we've got a 3-inch to a 2.5 reducer. So we ended up doing, oh, it's off now.
Yeah, I pulled it off, yeah.
So it's 3-inch from the intake. We're gonna do a 3-inch MAF housing. So 3-inch MAF housing, and then this is gonna go down to 2.5, which is what our piping is. And this is the extension we got for here, because we didn't have enough pipe to go up. We're gonna paint everything black too. And that's just a 3-inch to go from the MAF housing to the throttle body. Zip ties. Here is the wideband I got, which was really expensive. So you can go with, what do you normally use?
Just AEM.
AM, and those run about
Like $200.
Okay.
Under $200.
And that's what you want to spend your money on. You don't want to spend, I just personally don't like the pods where you have a multiple. This is just one screen, and it has, I believe,
Got boost, air fuel ratio.
What else? There was a couple more.
I think you can put TPS in there.
Yeah. And there's EGTs, which I don't know what that is.
Just exhaust gas temperature.
Oh, okay. So there's multiple displays that'll come up on the screen, and it does come with its own little computer here, and basically everything plugs into here, and you wire it in through here. So you don't have to use all of them, obviously, but as you get new sensors, you wire them in. So I'm gonna have to wire in the boost gauge, which is here, and that comes separate. So I paid I can't remember. I think it was like $500 for all this stuff with the wideband and the boost sensor. The boost was, I want to say it was like $150 for it. Like I said, you don't have to spend this kind of money. I would just go the cheap route, because you can buy a boost gauge for what, like $30 on eBay? Yeah. And they work fine. I just personally didn't want to go that route because I don't like the pods. But I think that's all we got. So what's the plan for today?
Today, I think we'll pull this manifold back off, weld on all the O2 bungs, because we got to weld, let's see, 4, I think. 2 before the cats, technically, so we'll put those in the primary before the turbo. And then 1 after the turbo in the downpipe, and then 1 for the wideband. So that's the 4.
You drill these guys out for the bungs. Where are they? So it's on the first one. I did recommend really close to the header, right? Or sorry, to the motor. The closest we could get. Oh, here, there. And you want to drill them out just enough to where they squeeze in, basically to get the bottom fitting in. And that way the lip catch is on there. And there's that one, and then there's the other one's on the opposite side, Matt? Yeah.
Kind of positioned them so that way we had room for our downpipe.
Oh, that's right.
And then room for our intake tube coming off the compressor side.
Sweet.
Hey guys, here I'm installing the O2 sensors. I'm transferring the old ones from the old manifold to the new header. We welded in O2 bungs in the first primary tube and in the last primary tube, leaving room for all the stuff around it. And that's where your pre-catalytic converter O2 sensors will go. The remaining O2 sensor will go in the downpipe after the turbo.
So here's that little 90, and I already put that thread lock on there. Let me go grab the rest of it real quick, show you what we used. All right, so this is stuff we used on there. I used it around the threads already here. I locked it in. I just went over to the vise and made sure it was nice and tight. So now I'm gonna put it into the fuel rail. And the same deal. This is some of that sealant down there. So there's just a couple screws here, and the little bracket actually fits perfect right here. So I just picked this side up, bolted it down. It's actually pretty sturdy in there. And then the hose, I don't know if you can see there, it's not very long, but it routes perfectly down there. And I cut it just now short enough, that way it's just perfect right here. There's not a ton of hose that's gonna be kind of wrapped around. So this just goes right there. Let me actually grab a light so you guys can see that. There we go. So it's just right there, and literally just wraps back up and goes in there. Hey guys, real quick on the fuel pressure regulator, the bottom actually goes to the tank. So the one that actually should be routed to the fuel rail is on the back of the fuel regulator. And it does come with hose clamps and everything, so you should have everything you need from here to the fuel rail. The other line you're gonna have to buy, because you're gonna need a pretty good length to get back to the fuel tank. Here it is. So this is the stuff we got. Let me see if you guys can tell what it is. Maybe. There we go. And we basically got long enough to go from here to the fuel tank, which is just behind my back seat there, so it's not too far. So I left off. I think I installed the regulator. I'm running the line now. I don't know if you can see it. So it goes down through there. I tried to hide it underneath all the plastics here. Let's see. Oh yeah, you see it right there. So that's the line. And I had to unbolt this plastic here and basically shove the line back behind there. And now I'm gonna try to find a way up into where the fuel pump is so we could stick the return for any excess fuel. And I'll show you where that is real quick. So this is what you have to unbolt, and it comes with these 3 plastic. You can use a 10 mil, but it's just 3 plastic things holding this together here. Open it up, then there's a clip underneath. You unclip that here, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 bolts, and those are 8 mil. So once you get those off, this pops out, and this is basically the fuel pump. It's attached. And then this right here, it's just the clip holding it. So you just pop that out with a screwdriver. And then once you pop that out, this line pops out here. If I can rip it out here. Just be careful because some fuel will come out of there. And that's it. And then I'll pull it out and I'll show you what we're doing next. All right, so I pulled this sucker out. We've got, basically, we need to undo this clip here. Pull this out. We need to plug the original regulator since we're bypassing it with the one we just installed. So we'll plug that, and then there's 2 lines that'll siphon from each tank. We just need to figure out how to route those. But this is basically what it looks like here.
All right, so for the fuel hat, what we did is we got this -6 to -6 elbow. And then we use 2, let's see if you can see it, 2 BSP type washers, gasketed washers. One on top, one on bottom, and then a nut to secure it all down. That way there's no glue, no epoxy, no threading plastic. It'll all just seal. And so there's one of these barbed fittings on this side too. And then small piece of hose to go through there. And then of course we welded that regulator bung up. Then we'll put a small piece of hose on here and bent a little U to put it right back into place. And so it'll take me a second to assemble it, but I'll show you how it goes.
So here's the finished product.
Yeah, here's the idea here. So basically, since we're not using this regulator anymore, it used to go like this and then siphon through there. So now we're using the regulator over here, so we're still using that same line on the siphon tube. So we just run it like this, and then obviously plug your old line in here, and hopefully this will fit in the tank.
Yeah, that's pretty compact compared to the first run we had.
Yeah, nothing should fall off.
Let's see.
So I got my oil drain feed flange bolted to the turbo. We're gonna do a hard line down past the manifold. That way you don't have to worry about any rubber lines melting or AN lines melting. So I'm just gonna cut this and weave it through the manifold. Just some leftover scrap. You can buy bends on Amazon and whatnot. So I'll just come out, cut this, clock it however I need, re-weld it, and then we'll weld our dash 10 AN fitting to this, and then we'll have a rubber line down to the oil pan, and we'll never have a problem with burning drain lines, because just where the drain is on this turbo is right into one of the primaries on the manifold. It's kind of a crappy design, but that's what we got, so we're just gonna make it work.
Oil return done. Well, that looks really nice. And he's just putting bolts on it right now. Here is the turbo. So Matt did get it finally clocked the right way. He was just working on trying to clock it, and it clears out pretty nice. It's perfect that way. Oh shoot. So it will be slightly touching, it looks like, but not much.
We can clock it however and get a little bit of room. I figure we'll make it touch, and then with the gasket, it should be bolted.
All right, we're getting close to first startup. Everything good then?
I think so.
Give her a go.
Give her a shot.